You know, we focus on Bible prophecy every week for about 5 minutes. We call it a prophecy update. We should be able to see things trending in the direction of the unfulfilled prophecies of the Bible that have to do with the end times in which we live. For example, the Bible predicted that Israel, and Jerusalem in particular, would be incredibly troublesome politically in the end times. That was to be expected, and it's obviously unfolding just as God predicted. June 1st was what's called Jerusalem Day. It's an Israeli national holiday commemorating the reunification of Jerusalem and the establishment of Israeli control over the old city in the aftermath of the June 1967 Six-Day War. The day is officially marked by state ceremonies and memorial services. It's also marked, sadly, by anti-Semitism. For example, Muslim worshipers rioted after Jews were allowed on the Temple Mount in Jerusalem on Jerusalem Day. Excerpts from one article said this: Jewish pilgrims were permitted to visit the Temple Mount on Jerusalem Day, coinciding with the last days of the Muslim holy month of Ramadan, sparking riots. Muslim worshipers on the Temple Mount on Sunday threw chairs and stones at police forces there after it was announced that non-Muslims would visit the site, according to the Israeli police. Some of the worshipers barricaded themselves in the Al-Aqsa Mosque. Several were arrested. The police responded with what is called riot control measures to disperse the crowd. The site usually is closed to non-Muslim visitors every year on the last days of Ramadan. This is the first time that Jerusalem Day and the last days of Ramadan have coincided in the last 30 years. Quds is an Arabic name for Jerusalem. Quds Day is an annual event held on the last Friday of Ramadan, initiated by the Islamic Republic of Iran in 1979 to express support for Palestinians and oppose Zionism in Israel. It exists in opposition to the Jerusalem Day celebration instituted by Israel. Iranians in the capital set fire to effigies of President Donald Trump, while in the Iraqi capital, Iran-backed militiamen jumped over a large Israeli flag as part of rallies Friday marking Jerusalem Day. One writer reminds us, and I quote, "The most prominent sign of the end times is the nation of Israel." In 1948, Israel was recognized as a sovereign state, essentially for the first time since AD 70. God promised Abraham that his posterity would have Canaan as an everlasting possession, and Ezekiel prophesied a physical and spiritual resuscitation of Israel. And so this is exactly the kind of news that you would expect from reading the Bible. You'd expect that there'd be a reborn nation of Israel in the land, and that Jerusalem and Israel would be the center of controversy for all nations, and they are. What we're waiting for, though, is the rapture of the church. It's an event that can happen at any moment with no warning, and no other event needs to take place before it. Jesus will come and resurrect the dead in Christ, and rapture living believers will be translated in a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, into our glorified bodies, and together with the church we'll be taken up into heaven. That happens sometime before the 7-year Great Tribulation. It might trigger the tribulation in one sense, but what really starts the tribulation is a peace treaty that the Antichrist enters into with the Jewish nation. But we're expecting the rapture, and so I ask people every week, are you ready for the rapture? If not, get ready and stay ready and keep looking up, because ready or not, Jesus is coming.